I'm curious now how you're starting off. I'd love to hear the transition, from, because one of the things I want to encourage people is like, you gotta like just not listen to the people, the haters, essentially. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like, I would love to hear your opinion on when you were first starting off on YouTube, what your friends said and your family said to now. Three-quarters of a million subscribers. I'd love to know what they say now.
So, I'm going to answer that question, but I'm not going to use YouTube because it really was never met with much opposition at all with YouTube.
Okay, interesting. Interesting.
It was something in addition to what I was already doing within the machine that I was already perpetuating. What I did receive a lot of opposition for was starting my studio.
Really?
Yes, a lot. At the time, I was married, and I was told by my ex that my little lessons would never amount to anything more than just doing it from home. And I said to him, "You're going to regret saying that someday." And I remember looking at the brick and mortar, and it looked like something out of the Blair Witch Project. It was a crack house. Look, it wasn't an actual crack house, but it looked like it was a dilapidated 1910 craftsman style home on the most amazing corner of where I could find. And I was like, I'm gonna own that piece of property. I'm gonna rehab it, and it's gonna be amazing.
Nice.
And I tried to take him by it, and he said, "You're gonna ruin us."
Oh
And I
my
was like,
gosh.
"You have no vision, and this is what's going to make us. Like, I'm going to do this, and I really, like, this is not a question. I'm doing it." And so there was a lot of opposition, and even my dad was, at one point was like, "Well, like singing lessons isn't a business or whatever." And he was the one helping me dig the trench for the parking lot at my
Wow.
studio. And they've been so supportive. And my parents are really like the wind beneath my wings, but there have been moments, but my ex was very much like a doubter for sure. And he
Yeah.
did come along and eventually support it and helped once he saw it working. But it was not without, and that was at a time where like I didn't have free money to mess with. Like I did,
Yeah.
it was a huge risk. It was a huge leap of faith. I remember standing in the studio with the walls falling in on me before construction started. I remember holding the walls and saying, "Lord, if you're not in this, I'm certainly out of it. Like
Yeah, for
there's
sure.
not there. I've got all of it in. Like you got to
Absolutely.
meet me here. This is your place, and I'm asking
Absolutely.
you to bless it." And he did.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's so cool to hear.
It was great.
Congratulations. How long was that?
Wow. So the studio is gonna be. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's been this long. In July, it's gonna be, I think, 9 years since we've
Wow.
been open. Yeah.
That's amazing. Good for
Yeah. It
you.
really is. It
It's
really is.
amazing. It's really cool. I think, what is it? It's the I think 90% of businesses can't make it past 5 years or something like
I
that.
read that, but only after I reached after 5 years. I'm really glad I didn't know that before.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're an anomaly then. You're the top 10%.
Honestly,
So,
I believe in favor. I do believe that God has me right in my sweet spot. I believe that it took a lot of humility though, because I was, in my
oh,
opinion,
I couldn't agree more. What
yeah,
was
like
it?
I had set my sights on being a Grammy award winning artist, and I did Broadway, and I'm going to perform. This is my calling. This is my life. But I was left of center. Like yes, I'm supposed to sing and use my voice, but I get so much more joy and fulfillment out of helping others within the context of still using my voice than being on a stage myself. And I still
Really
do. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I never thought I'd
interesting.
say that. But I really do
Interesting.
believe that when you're humble enough to be able to look around instead of being tunnel vision, there's a good thing to be focused. But for you guys who are watching, if you're like, well, I'm not sure what my calling is, or I'm not sure, that's nice for you to say. Like, look, it's not like I knew. I actually fought against being a vocal coach for quite some time. But I believe that when you under promise and you over deliver on anything, you will be met with success, because so many people don't do that. I'd say
Hmm.
99% of people don't do that. They lack follow through and they lack integrity.
Yeah.
So if you simply just do that one thing and then have the humility and the perspective to look around and see, if these doors are closing, what else is opening? And do I have the humility and the curiosity to walk through that one? I do believe that
Yeah.
like anybody can find their sweet spot. And I know that I found mine.
That's amazing. And you know what though? Life. You're still very young, and life is very long. So you
Yeah.
very well could be on the Grammy stage. You should be on the Grammy stage instead of some of the other things that were on there this past year.
Oh,
So
that's
I
so
would,
sweet.
I would, I would nominate you as a Grammy artist.